Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Turbo Dave here. I did a boost controller install the other day and all the video got corrupt. I lost everything, so I'm gonna go over everything to show you how it's done. That way hopefully it can help somebody out. Okay, to start with, I used a Turbo Smart boost controller. Why a Turbo Smart? Because I had a Volkswagen Bug that was a Volkswagen Cabrio that was boosted. I used the same one. It worked very well. Okay, let's start with this wastegate. Wastegate, you have to have a vacuum source to the wastegate, especially if you have an external wastegate. So you run your line from a vacuum source. On this is a D17, so there's really not many vacuum sources, so I did a vacuum block. So you run your vacuum line from here to the bottom of the wastegate. You have to make sure, guys, that it goes to the bottom of the wastegate. If you use the top of the wastegate, the spring that's in it, if it's a 5 pound, 10 pound, 20 pound, 1 pound, it's going to run whatever your turbo will make. If your turbo makes 30 pounds of boost, it's going to make 30 pounds of boost. There's going to be no control if you run to the top at all. So vacuum source to the bottom. Just always make sure to the bottom of the wastegate you have a top one and a bottom one. It has to be the bottom one. Alright, so this is where I mounted my boost controller because it's just a good spot for me. It's convenient, good location. I can get to the top easily, and that works for me. Now on most turbos, or a lot of turbos, they do have a fitting. Some turbos, I should say, have a fitting that come off right here. You can see where my finger is. They come out of there. I could drill it and tap it and put a fitting there for the vacuum force, but I can't because my alternator literally, you see my finger is touching the alternator and that. So what did I do? I did something pretty simple. I just went to here, in the rubber fitting that goes through the bottom of the turbo and it goes to the piping that goes to the intercooler. I just drilled a little hole in the rubber, put a fitting right there, and there, that's in. Now, as you can see, it's very easy. You put a nut on the other side, and they even sell them. They sell little kits like that. And then you just put a little silicone around just to make sure it's good and not going to leak. I checked it. There's no leaks from it. Okay, so now we have our vacuum line from whatever vacuum source you have to the bottom of the wastegate, right? Now, this tap that we just put in is going to run from there up over here to the opposite side that it says wastegate, because on all these boost controllers, these little ones like this, they have it says wastegate and an arrow pointing to the wastegate. So you come from the line off the bottom or from the turbo to the opposite side of the arrow that points to the wastegate, and then obviously after that's hooked up, you come from the side that points to the wastegate out and you run your line to the top of the wastegate. You just have to remember, guys, again, it's super important to make sure. It's always a good idea probably to run a vacuum block anyway, but any vacuum source you use or need, you have to run from there to the bottom of the wastegate. This one I have to neaten up because I only had a short brake line, so I just have to get a longer brake line, neaten it up, and mount it up right here, and that'll be taken care of. So once you're installed and you have all your lines on, what I suggest is you put, it's a common practice, put wire ties on each vacuum line that you have and pull it tight. See, everywhere, because fall valve, same thing. I still have to put them over there on the block, but I didn't get them on all the way. And this is because if you're making, you know, a high amount of boost, it's going to pop one of these hoses off, most likely, or one of these lines. You'll be wondering what's going on. We don't want this to pop off because, again, you pop these lines off, you're going straight to 30 pounds or whatever your turbo's going to make, and that's not a good thing. Now, after you have it installed and you want, let's say you have a 5 pound spring in it, you start going, what my suggestion is, go a half a click to a click each time to see what your boost is coming to, and just keep going like that until you get the desired boost setting. If you want to get to 12, just keep going until you get to your boost setting, desired boost setting, and it'll sit there, hopefully not surge. It should be perfect. In my case, on Tuesday I'm going to get it tuned. I had an appointment up there. I had to postpone it because some of my parts weren't here. My AEM came in, the standalone. I'm going to O-Star in Orlando to get it tuned. Now this is a D17. A lot of guys say, you know, you shouldn't do a D17, they blow up. The only problem that I see on these D17s, what I believe is that the intake is plastic. That's why it blows apart. But I've been reading on a lot of blogs that a lot of guys are attempting or changing over to D16 intakes, which I need to do a little more research on, and if that's the case, I'm gonna definitely change the intake. This motor that's in here is a JDM motor. Here is the original motor. That motor had 300,000 miles on it. This is the original motor. I mean, this is the JDM motor. It came from JDM of Orlando. So it's had like 40-something thousand miles on it. It looks spotless, I believe it. I'm not going to build this motor. I'm just going to keep it at like 200 horsepower and just cruise it. This motor I'm going to build with good rods, pistons, do the head. I'm going to do the head on this one as well. Port polish, a different cam. And then to that motor, we're going to stick it with some serious boost. And once the intake is changed. But again, I hope you like this little video I did for you to show you how to install a manual boost controller. I hope maybe somebody could learn from it. And I'll have upcoming videos. I'm going to the dyno on a stock clutch, but it is a brand new clutch in there. So I just want to burn this one up kind of a little bit before I'm only going to 8 or 10 pounds. So I should be okay, hopefully. And we have the clutch install coming up. And then we also have the dyno tune. So I'll be recording all that. But again, I hope you enjoyed the little video of the boost control install. And guys, stay motivated, but stay humble. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon for future uploads. And I hope to see you again. Take care.